Hello everyone, this is Halo Zoo for the last episode of the Challenge Zoo example that I'm building. So today we're going to be building the two I totally did not try and use some of the Planet Zoo controls right there. Oops. So yeah, I have played Planet Zoo some, and as I've said before, I think there's some decisions that just baffle me with the game, and I feel like some of the stuff they did, the controls feel a little weird, but that's partially because I've played this so much that I kind of want it to be its control like this, even if maybe that's a little unrealistic. And so we're going to be building, before I continue, I'm going to explain this. So we're going to be building the last two exhibits, which are free exhibits. And I will say, I actually did think about doing the last guest area, but I don't think I'm going to build this on... I may not even build it. If I do, it'll be off camera, and... so, it won't be on camera. If I do, I may not even do it. That's sort of the place I'm at right now, where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to do it, because I sort of just want to be done. However, I may do it because it is part of the challenge to do a second food court area of sorts, but for the sake of time, I just may skip that and say, well, you guys should do it, but it's like I didn't simply because I didn't have time to do it, because the first episode was really long, and I did actually try and build one. Where is this? Such a deal with some sauce bugging me about it. There's two things of water you can reach. There's another Bluebuck drinking from one. Why are you having trouble with this? But anyway, so I've decided I'm gonna do the Barbary Ape as one of the two free animals, and so I'm gonna put their home. Actually, I'm just gonna have this. That's their home. So yeah, it's like I would add the second food area, but the problem I have to face is that I only have so much time. I don't want to make my episode absurdly long, so it's sort of a choice between do I add it like I normally would, or do I just say screw it? I don't I just don't have the time to put one in and just skip over the food area. And so it's sort of like last episode, the first episode went for well over an hour. Or I think it was maybe just over an hour, so I'm like, do I really want to make another absurdly long episode, or do I save some time and say, screw that, and just make a shorter episode that is not absurdly long. So, now as I've mentioned before, for this example zoo, I'm actually using animals that I just don't like intentionally, because the idea is there's going to be some bonus points in it for the guys if they can figure out what animals I like. I'll give them some extra points if they just so happen to find one. So I am gonna say they shouldn't intentionally go for them. Go right. Yeah, just had some technical difficulties there. Aw, one of my finished boxes died. Oh my gosh, Bluebuck 4, what is wrong with you? Something like that. Antelope. I'm telling you. So, yeah, there's sort of a general theme with this, so we're gonna add 2 water bowls, one here. Branches and I think bananas. Oh, we have a new Carnotaurus soon. I'll go with roots here. So let's put the person. Yes, love my zoo. Yay. So, anyway, I was mentioning Planet Zoo earlier, and so I'm gonna say I understand why they did the build the fences one segment at a time so you could better control how they look. But at the same time, I understand why they did it, but it also infuriates me to no end. Because I kind of want it to just be a continuous line to build the fences that you draw. And Planet Zoo doesn't have that. I'm just like, ugh. It takes more time, but I do like how it lets you have more control over it, but, Also, as I've mentioned before, I do not like the people models in the game. They look so bad, especially next to the incredible animal models. And I feel like they sort of made a decision that I don't think was the right one. Oh. I had no idea I had a keeper rapier. I have a keeper named after a sword. That's hilarious. Anyway, back to what I was doing. But regardless, I feel like they did make a decision, and I guess they decided, okay, we're gonna keep this game sort of in line with our other similar game, Planet Coaster, which means we're gonna have this game, we're gonna use the same character models from Planet Coaster. However, the problem that emerges is those models are absolutely hideous. And they really do clash with the animals, which... It's like this. You have really realistic animals. But then you give... You add in these absolutely horrendous models for people. And it's just like, okay, this is... There was a decision made. Was it the right decision? To me, I don't think so. I would say there should be, you know, if we're going to hold ourselves to making the animals as realistic as possible, then we should also try and make the humans a little more realistic as well to match it. But we don't. Instead, they decided, in a somewhat lazy fashion, and I'm not going to say they aren't actually being lazy. I feel like it's more of a solidarity thing that, like, okay, this is another Planet game. It's like Planet Coaster, so let's... to sort of put together a sort of solidarity, then we're going to use the same models for people from Planet Coaster. To me, it has sort of backfired immediately because, yeah, that, models just look horrifically bad and ugly. I'm just like, why would you do this? Because your game looks absolutely terrible now, and So anyway, I feel like they created a problem for themselves that it's sort of a rock and a hard place, I'd say, that they've gotten themselves into that I'm actually going to say that I don't think any decision, and in their defense, I'm going to say they had to make a hard call. It's sort of like, okay, we have two options. We either go ahead with the idea of making new models for the people and also take away resources from creating the animal models, because that will take time and effort away from that. Albeit they could have done it after they did the animals, but this is where the rock and hard place becomes really apparent, that they've already spent a ton of time in with the animals, so it's like, okay, we spent a lot of time on the animals, now we gotta make new people, and also it's a planet game, so it would actually make sense to kind of use the same people models, but those models don't look good. And for me, I'm actually going to err on the side of I wouldn't have done it, because I feel like I would rather have sort of, if we're going to make the animals look good, then we should make the people look good so that it doesn't clash as much. It's not like, oh. And also partially because it's going to, it does seem slightly lazy, so let's make it clear that, oh, we're actually, trying with this game. Let's put some more effort. Because they're clearly putting a lot of effort into the game. However, I feel like the people just sort of clash with that. Also, the character creation is garbage. I mean, I'd actually argue it's worse than Destiny. I mean, first off, like I've already said, I don't really like the character models, the human models, but add to that the very limited and odd options that actually made it to where I made my character a teen. Even though teen's supposed to be like, oh, you're younger, but I chose a teen because I was able to make him look more like me. Instead, there's some odd keeper names. I mean, then again, I know a girl with a name that I think I only ever heard a substitute in school call her right name once. And it was the sub who was like always there. But yeah, there's a lot going on out there. There's the Barbary Apes. Anyway, with Planet Zoo, I also feel like I am really excited for the game still, and I wish this stupid laptop would work with it, but I mean, I'm getting between 4 and 6 FPS average in this game, and it's way old, so yeah, you can imagine. I actually get like 1 FPS in Planet Zoo. I'm recording this, so I'm getting 1 FPS with Planet Zoo without that. I don't have chimps. Let me see. More as like I like chimps less. And I'm actually gonna say this. In general, I just have not enjoyed, I just never liked the Great Apes as much. And I just never found them as interesting, because, like, that's the one place at the zoo I'm like, I kind of want to skip over it. I'm like, I don't really care about seeing the chimps and stuff. It's like, if you do go see them, alright, I'm fine with it, but I personally would not mind skipping over them. Just because I'm like, it's like, I know they're technically our closest cousins in the animal world, but I could honestly care less about that fact, Just like, I just don't find them interesting at all. Set of sleeping baskets right here. And we're going to put one of these probably. No? Right there. Also, I did not paint the ground yet. So, Planet Zoo also, I think, suffers a minor problem from sort of trying to be too realistic, And I'm afraid that they may not actually do some of the stuff I kind of want them to. Which, sort of the big one for me is actually going to be add expansions to it. And support the game from beyond its launch. So post-launch support is going to be a big one for me, because I mean, that's sort of the thing about Zoo Tycoon 2 was, or Zoo Tycoon in general, was that they kept working on it, and they expanded the game well beyond what we got at launch. Even though I'm currently only using launch content, but for this, I think. I'm actually going to place 2 things now, just because they should be placed sooner rather than later. I really want this in here. It's kind of big. Yeah, I feel like... move this. Should move forward. So this would be right here. Right there. Maybe. Oh, that's good. I'm fine with this. There we go. Four of these. And that's 35? By the Simic. There's a lot of them now. Yeah, that is something. Alright. Branches. Bananas. Because I can't not put bananas in this exhibit. I'm not crazy. Guess it's ground cover time. Toadstools. Under here. And then we got these all over. Except the ground. So, before I forget, can't see what his name is, dang it. Because, for those who don't know, actually I don't think any of you guys know, but I've been using XSplit Gamecaster, and it's showing me its symbol right over where the name is. Cornelson. That is just a weird name. Let's bring back Chimpanzee. And let's put these jungle lilies. So, as for Planet Zoo in general, I do feel like at times it suffers a little bit from the Zoo Tycoon 1 problem that I had. That basically, Zoo Tycoon 1, you had to have specific plants and ground cover. And at times, that could really... It really sort of hampered your ability to create the zoo exactly how you want it to be. And make the exhibit exactly what you want it to look like. Which is something this game sort of improved. And it's like, I understand the idea of being realistic with it, but at the same time, I kind of want to make it the zoo I want it to be. And it's sort of just like, you know, I want to put what I want to put in the zoo, you know? And Zoo Tycoon 1 and Planet Zoo, they aren't terrible about it. They aren't like, oh, you want to put this in? I don't think so. Like, no, I don't like that. You gotta get that out of here. Planet Zoo, at least, it's not like... it's sort of a little lenient in that you can still put... You can still put whatever the heck you want in the zoo, but... it does strongly encourage you put what the animal wants rather than what you want, and I'm just gonna say screw it to the ferns and put in the chimps. So, and once again, I won't really be able to do any videos in Planet Zoo because the game has such terrible performance on my laptop without trying to record that I just can't do it. I mean, it is basically the bare minimum of playable. I mean, it's not even really playable on my laptop, technically. I mean, it runs, it's just so much lag that I practically cannot play the game, so sadly I will not be able to show you any stuff in Planet Zoo. And I may actually be trying to play it in a little bit, but yeah. So I may leave this video here, and I'm just gonna call the zoo done. So this is, once again, it's just an example. It's not exactly what I would have made, because there are a few things I would change, such as I would actually use the desert theme, but my Obzon Zoo already uses it, so I decided to go with jungle this time. And I don't have the safari or endangered themes, sadly. Oh, the beavers built dams. Yeah. I sort of like how they made it where they make their own shelters instead of having you place one for them. It's kind of a cool little mechanic. I wish they kind of did more of that stuff, but anyway, that is all for this series of me building an example zoo for a challenge that isn't going to be finished for a while now. But we may get Michael in relatively soon, and I'll be there more to guide him in case he's help him with controls and stuff, and answer any questions he has. So I won't tell him directly about some of the stuff he can do as secrets, but and then it's up to him if he wants to share his knowledge. But without further ado, that is all. So I guess I'll see you guys next time in something. I might actually do a zoo tour for this as well. Just to, show it in first person what I've built here. Without further ado, I will see y'all next time.